everybody, welcome to Gluten-free for All TV. If you're looking for a great gluten-free idea for a party, then these gluten-free grape jelly mini meatballs are a surefire hit. They're the first things to go whenever I bring them to a buffet. They're also super easy to make and only use a couple key ingredients. The first ingredient is Heinz chili sauce. Now this is readily available in Canada and the US. If you are in the UK, it's a bit harder to find, so you're better off buying it off someplace like Amazon. It's gluten-free and makes a great base to our sauce. For this recipe, you'll need one 12-ounce bottle. The second secret ingredient in this recipe is a 10-ounce jar of grape jelly or grape jam. Just a reminder though, whenever you're buying any kind of prepackaged sauce or jelly, always read the ingredients to make sure it's gluten-free. Sometimes the manufacturing process changes, so it's always best to double check. Let's move on to our meatballs. You need to start with 1 cup of fine gluten-free breadcrumbs, 1 cup of finely chopped onions, that's approximately the size of 1 medium onion, 2 free-range eggs, 6 tablespoons of chopped parsley, curly or flat leaf, whatever you have on hand, and finally 2 teaspoons of gluten-free Worcestershire sauce. Oh yeah, and I can't forget the beef. You need about 2 pounds of lean ground beef. These meatballs are really easy to make. In a large bowl, you're going to add your eggs, your breadcrumbs, your onions, your parsley, and your Worcestershire sauce, and you're going to give it a good mix together. Here's a little money-saving tip. You do not need to go spend money on dry, gluten-free breadcrumbs. Save your money for something fun. If you've got a food processor, just blitz a few pieces of fresh bread and get some nice crumbs that way. Unless a recipe calls for dry breadcrumbs, fresh will work just fine and save you a ton of cash. Also, make sure your Worcestershire sauce is gluten-free, because this is where gluten is usually hidden, where people don't realize. You don't want to accidentally gluten yourself or somebody else. Finally, add a little bit of salt and pepper to taste. Now we're going to get our hands dirty. We're going to give this a really good mix, making sure everything is really well combined. As the name implies, these are mini meatballs. So you want to make tiny little meatballs. So you want to make sure you're making them nice and small. Not too big. These are appetizers, remember? The other thing to keep in mind is try to make them all around the same size. This way, they'll all cook at the same time. So 2 pounds of ground beef will make about 60 mini meatballs. This is also the most labor-intensive part of this recipe, so if you've got some little kids that want to help, this is a great way to get them involved in cooking. Now that our meatballs are done, let's move on to our sauce. Now this is the easy part. Start with 2 tablespoons of brown sugar, 1 teaspoon of lemon juice, 1 tablespoon of gluten-free soy sauce, light or dark, whatever you have on hand, our grape jelly or jam, and our Heinz chili sauce. In a medium to large pot on medium heat, we're going to add all our ingredients together. This sauce is amazing for 2 reasons. 1, the sweetness of the jelly goes exceptionally well with the tanginess of the chili sauce. And secondly, it's a breeze to make. If you can't find grape jelly, don't worry. Try using cranberry sauce or blackcurrant jelly. Both of those would be really nice too. Give your sauce a good mix, making sure everything is dissolved, and bring to a boil. Once nice and hot and bubbling, it's time to add our meatballs. You can do this one of 2 ways. The first method is cooking on the stovetop, like I'm showing you here. Simply reduce the heat and start adding your meatballs one by one. Or you can transfer everything to a slow cooker and cook on medium to high heat for about 4 hours. These little guys are going to be quite fragile, so be careful. Try not to move around too much until they've had time to cook and set. You don't want them to fall apart. Simply keep adding your meatballs till the entire pot is full. I'm covering mine with a lid just for about 5 minutes to help the ones on the top cook through. With the lid removed, simmer for about a half an hour until the meatballs are cooked through and you're left with a nice, deep, rich golden brown sauce. This is looking pretty good. Give it a mix every few minutes to make sure that the meatballs don't burn on the bottom of the pan and everything has a chance to get covered in the lovely sauce. This appetizer is designed to be served warm, so serve immediately or transfer them to a slow cooker on low heat so your guests can enjoy them at their leisure. They won't last long though, trust me on that one. So there you have it, grape jelly mini meatballs, the perfect gluten-free party food. So if you like that video and you want to see more, be sure to like, subscribe, and share it with your friends. Thanks for watching, bye!